Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. So we are about a month in since The Flash Season 8 wrapped up with its finale. Like, maybe a month in? I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. It could be more, could be less. Anyway, it's been some time since Season 8 of The Flash, wrapped up. And Season 9, as we all know, is on its way to our eyeballs and ears early next year sometime, whether it's late January, maybe February, I'm not too sure, with filming for Season 9 set to start in apparently September, but that hasn't been confirmed. It's just that a bunch of other shows are starting around that time. So it seems that The Flash would be around that time as well. Now, I'm not too sure when this video specifically is going to come out, but Comic-Con is about 2 days away from when I'm making this video, so hopefully it isn't too far away from now when I upload it. But around, the Comic-Con premises in San Diego, they did have various advertising for the CW DC shows, and I guess more specifically, The Flash and Superman and Lois, with there being banners and bench ads with the two shows sharing that space. Now, from what I know, before the actual con and event goes on, there isn't anything relating to either of those shows outside of a panel that Bitsy Tulloch, who plays Lois Lane, is on, and it's not like Superman and Lois related. It's just about, various actresses, I think, coming together. So nothing for either of the shows specifically, like a panel in previous years, or any other DC TV show on the CW, or even any of the HBO Max live action shows either, I don't think, which is very weird, especially for the shows coming out in like the next couple of months, or a brand new show like Gotham Knights. Obviously, that choice comes down to Warner Brothers TV and not the CW, but yeah, it's a bit odd. But if anything does come out from Comic-Con, I'll do a video on it. I'm not expecting it, but let's wait and see. Anyway, this video will be, as you should be able to tell from the title, Reverse Flash related, and in a way, Eobard Thawne related, but more on just the Reverse Flash portion, I guess. So, of course, in the Season 8 finale of The Flash, we saw Eobard Thawne become all-powerful as Reverse Flash, with all the abilities of the various negative forces, becoming the negative Reverse Flash, as he was labeled, and reigning terror over Central City. But this was up until Barry was given the abilities of the positive forces and able to compete with Eobard. With this leading to Eobard set on mass destruction and ultimate power, ending up killing himself when Barry reverses time and sending all the energy Eobard sent out back into himself, erasing him from existence. I guess you could say Barry killed him. I guess it was a bit of like an assist from either of them in regards to the death. Now, of course, that is the Reverse Flash or negative Reverse Flash that we are talking about, but that wasn't a series finale. So will the Flash's potential final season and final battle in Season 9 not be up against his arch nemesis and against a new foe instead? Is like that the last time we will see Thawne? Well, based off the episode, you would assume so, but Eric Wallace, the showrunner for The Flash, isn't really giving anything like away completely in regards to confirming it or making anything concrete, as he did reveal in part of an interview with Deadline following the Season 8 finale, and this is what was said. That being said, we really are done with Reverse Flash? At this point, yes, the negative Reverse Flash, just like Frost, is dead. Now, having said that, we've got another season and I wasn't expecting that. I'm very happy about it, but just because the negative Speed Force is dead doesn't mean that Tom Cavanagh might not pop up on the show in some capacity in Season 9. I think I can say that without giving any spoilers away. So yeah, hopefully you get what I meant when I said that Eric Wallace wasn't really concrete on anything. Probably the best way to say, yeah, we did that in the finale. You saw negative Reverse Flash die, just like you saw Frost die, but it wasn't Reverse Flash, just like how we have technically a version of Frost back, from what Kalen did. But negative Reverse Flash died. We're not going to see that version of the character again. But I'm definitely not, closing any doors on a return at all in regards to, what we view Reverse Flash as. But this might, bring a question to us, which is, what could happen next if that isn't the end? And which of the options do I think would be the best way to go? And of course, which option do you guys think would be the better way to go as well? So of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on my opinions, as well as if you have like another option that you think they could go down as well. Very curious to read what you guys think. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and want to show your support, why not drop a like on the video to do all that? So obviously in that quote from Eric Wallace, he actually references, okay, you'll see Tom Cavanagh again, but my first option has nothing to do with Tom Cavanagh, but everything to do with Eobard Thawne and Reverse Flash, and that's that we see another version played by Matt Letcher. Now, of course, if we're basing it off timelines and everything like that, and alternate timelines, Matt Letcher would be the face of an Eobard Thawne for many, many years. So there is definitely a way to bring him in if they want to. And there's obviously still the question mark on which was the version that died. They never confirmed that the version that we saw that had like amnesia was the one from Flashpoint. That was just a theory they had because it was nothing that they could actually prove, because this version had lost his memory. So he can't confirm that because he has no idea what happened. He just came into this timeline that the show was in, that season 8 was in, and had this like desire for speed, but it wasn't with like an evil intent because of the amnesia side of things. So for all we know, he just came from some other alternate timeline, which then allows that to potentially happen again if they want to go down that route, and it could be an evil version that pops up this time around. Maybe he's jumping from timeline to timeline because the timeline that he's in at the moment maybe doesn't have Barry Allen. Or maybe Barry Allen is dead and he still feels like hunting, if you know what I mean. So they could go down that route if they wanted to. I think most people would want to see Matt Letcher come back again because people weren't satisfied with, I think, the version that showed up. I liked it. I thought it was a good interpretation and definitely a bit of a twist and unexpected in multiple ways. Unexpected him actually coming back, but also unexpected what they did with him. And obviously he was involved in one of the coolest scenes the show's ever done, when the Tom Cavanagh version rips his face off to then emerge. So really cool, but I'd still be on board for seeing another version played by him coming into the show again in whatever way it is, maybe as the final Reverse Flash that Barry takes on. The next option is a young Thawne, which you would assume would mean a new actor, a younger actor that resembles Matt Letcher in some way, shape, or form. And this would obviously be tied to an origin story with Reverse Flash, which was teased in Armageddon, and then Eric Wallace has shown interest in doing, in a couple of different interviews. And I think this is something that a lot of people would love to see, is that origin story, whether it is overly in depth or whether it's a one episode thing, whatever it might be. I'd love to see them show us. It'd be almost like a meaningful thing, especially if season 9 of The Flash is the final season, that in the season that The Flash is ending, they show us how Reverse Flash came to be. So, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? And whether they tie it back to everything that's happened previously is another question, because we've jumped through timelines and, how the universe functioned and everything like that. So that could be a bit tricky. But just to give us a base look into how that rivalry started, I think is the main thing they need to focus in on. And I think most people would be pretty happy to see that happen. The next option is sort of similar to the first one we talked about in regards to Matt Letcher, like another version. And that's another Wellsabard looking, so another Tom Cavanagh, Wells looking Reverse Flash or Eobard Thawne from another timeline, which is like what this season's was. This season's Eobard Thawne that became negative Reverse Flash in this back half wasn't from this timeline. He was from the Reverse Flashpoint timeline. He didn't exist in this timeline. That's why he was being erased, in Armageddon. So that could happen again. It's just that you'd feel like you're repeating yourself. So I think they'd be forcing that if that was going to be the case. I think this is probably the weakest of the options, but it's the way that they get a Tom Cavanagh Reverse Flash back into the show if they want to use him. But I think it's the weakest of the 4 options that we're going to bring up. And my final option is actually a new Reverse Flash mantle holder. So it's not just a new actor. It's not Eobard Thawne at all as a character. It's another character and another name completely. So it could be like Hunter Zolomon. So he could be this new Reverse Flash mantle holder. Maybe he's no longer Zoom, or maybe he was Zoom and then wants to step up, and maybe he takes up the Reverse Flash mantle because Eobard Thawne does not exist in this timeline now. So in the comics, Hunter Zolomon isn't just known as Zoom, he is a Reverse Flash. Just like how Eobard Thawne is Professor Zoom, another Reverse Flash, and Daniel West is Reverse Flash as well. Reverse Flash isn't a single character, just like how the Flash isn't a single character. It's a mantle that various people have held. So they could do that on the show in the final season as well, which would allow them to bring back Zoom while also allowing him to be Reverse Flash at the same time as well, which I think would be very, very fan servicey in multiple different areas, both in regards to being true to the comics while also bringing Zoom back, which people have wanted for many, many seasons. And I think this is a storyline that you could do, which could make people come back and watch the final season that maybe haven't watched for a couple of seasons, because they're bringing back something that reminds them of like season 2, or it was their favorite villain, because Zoom is a lot of people's favorite villain. So I think that would be a pretty smart move in my opinion. I mean, if I was writing the show, I think I'd probably go down some route like that, but I'm not the writer, obviously. Now, which is the better option in my opinion? Now, I think that a new reverse Flash mantle holder like Zoom would be pretty damn cool, especially if we don't see them for a bit at the beginning, and maybe it's like other people telling Barry, maybe it's Jay, or maybe Wally guest stars, or whether it's Nora and Bart, that reverse Flash is back, and maybe they're faster or they're just a bit more shifty, they don't hang around, and Barry's like, oh my god, how did Thawne come back this time? And he's all confused and trying to figure it out, but we never, like Barry never sees him, and I guess us as the audience don't really see him either. And then there's a reveal in like a later episode that shows us a new suit, still reverse Flash looking, but new. Like we haven't seen that type of suit before. And then there's a new person in that suit. You know, it might be a familiar face like Hunter Zolomon, or it could be even like a completely new character as well. But if it's not that option, I would want to see a younger Thawne and that whole reverse Flash origin story. It's something that I wanted to see for a while. However, that interest did die off a bit as we got further into the show. I think it was just because it's like, oh, it's probably not going to happen. But that tease in Armageddon last season brought that interest back to life, and it's definitely something I would 100% love to see. And it's pretty close to like having Zoom take over that mantle. I'd probably say the origin story, just because I think there's more to explore there. But they're pretty even, so I'd be happy with either or. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this. Do you have a completely different option that you want to explain in the comments? I'm all ears. And if you have you agree with one of mine or would like one of mine more than the other, let me know in the comments section down below as well. I'm always curious to where you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.